everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We are flying in 1-3 Hotel again with my friend Julio on our way to get $100 omelets in 1-3 Hotel. And that's a piloty joke. And I want to talk about another lesson that has been important to me as a pilot that I was taught that helps me as a self-defender, and it's what we call the positive exchange of controls.
I use Throom targets on the range for all the benefits of steel with none of the drawbacks. They're made in the USA too. Pick up a set to make your shooting more fun and effective.
So this one is one we use on the range all the time, and you'll hear us, if you're in the app especially and you're watching, say, the evidence-based pistol skills class, you'll hear us talk about this and utilize it when we have to help a student with a gun. I think you should use it all the time if you have a gun in your hand and you're handing that firearm to someone else as well. And we actually learn this while flying, and that is what we call a positive exchange of controls. Right now, I am the pilot flying, and Julio is the pilot monitoring. He is just kind of keeping an eye on things and making sure I don't screw up. And he is my second set of eyes, my second brain. And, Julio, I think being that pilot monitoring is very important.
Yes, it is. It gives for safety.
It gives us an extra margin of safety for sure. Not that you can't fly this little plane solo. I do it all the time. But having that extra margin of safety is always a good thing. So, however, I'm thirsty right now. We are up in the desert, and it was hot earlier, and I am parched, Ed. And my water bottle is sitting on the chair behind me. So guess what?
Get in 350 contact, Luke approach 118.15. Good morning.
So if I was to be in the airplane by myself, I'd have to make this darn quick. But I don't have to do that right now. I can ask Julio to take the controls for a minute. So then that way we're not worried about the airplane flying right, and I can divert my attention to going and getting my water bottle and getting a drink. And here's how we do that.
3563, contact Phoenix approach 128.65. Good morning.
2865, good morning, Southwest 3563.
We do this with what we call a positive exchange of controls. And that means I will ask him if he would be willing to take the controls. When he does, one of us will initiate. So either I will say, you have the controls, or he can say, I have the controls. The other one will repeat it back. So if I say, you have the controls, he'll say,
You have the controls.
Right, and then I'll echo that back so that I know he's got it. So I'm going to do that right now. Julio, do you mind taking control of the airplane?
I can do
All right,
that.
you have the controls.
I have the controls.
You have the controls. And now, I come back here and get my bottle of water. Ooh, we're at altitude, so it's a little puffy. Okay, so that allowed me to do that and to forget about things for a little while, and life is grand. And guess what? When it's time to come back, I can come back myself. I'm going to let him fly a minute, though. I want to kind of see a few things. And then when it comes back, if I want to take it back, I say, I have the controls.
You have the controls.
I have the controls. And now I'm in charge of the plane. This is important. It's important because it tells us who's flying the stupid airplane, because I don't want to assume he's flying the airplane and go do something stupid, and then he's assumed I'm flying the airplane, and the next thing we know, 1-3 Hotel here decides, let's point at the ground. And then we go, and we freak out. Same thing applies when we are on the range, okay? So if I need to help a student, so a student is on the line, they have a malfunction, something that may be wrong, their holster has a fouling or something, and they need to fix it. I don't just snatch the gun from their hand. I will take a hold of the slide and say, I have the gun.
3 Sierra Papa, contact Albuquerque Center 135.15.
And then they will say, you have the gun, and then I'll say, I have the gun, and they let it go. Then when I give it back to them, again, holding the slide, look at them, put it in a place where they can grasp it correctly, and say, you have the gun. Then
Albuquerque, good morning, it's Primerjet, November 23, Sierra Papa 22.
Then they will say, I have the gun as they
Alpha
grasp
3596, contact Phoenix approach 128.65. Good day.
And then once I know they have it grasped and they have said, I have the gun, I'll let it go and say, you have the gun, and then they've got it. Positive exchange of controls. And I think even if you're
November
not on
6
the range,
Delta
this is
Papa,
helpful.
contact LA Center 128.15. Good day.
And it's something that you will see in ASP classes. It's something you will see us do on the training rail here in the app, or on Active Self-Protection Extra on YouTube when they get posted over there. And I think it's a safer way to exchange a firearm rather than just hand it to somebody, and make sure that you know who is in control of that gun.
6 flight check.
And this is something that I learned while I was flying.
6 flight, check man blocks 210 220.
And I hope it helps you to be a
Copper
better
6 flight Albuquerque Center, roger.